What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. This message is for anybody who has worked very hard to build and establish relationships um, in life, business relationships, just different type of connections and whatever, and you want to maintain those relationships. You got to be very careful with who you decide to plug up with your connections. What do I mean by that? Different levels. Somebody calls you and say, "Hey man, you know a good plumber?" And yeah, you got a plumber that you've been personally using for years and years and years, right? And somehow you've never had any issues with the plumber, but as soon as you connect this particular person up with them, there's a problem. They call you, "Hey man, this man done messed up my toilet, nah 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 nah." Or the person that you referred to them, the plumber himself, is like, "Hey man, this guy, man, that you sent to me is tripping and saying this and saying that." See, you got to be careful with that because those types of people can potentially destroy and ruin your relationships and your credibility with folks that you have possibly been good with for many, 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 many years. And the good thing to that is that if you have been cool with those people for many, many, many years, then y'all do have a connection where they understand, well, maybe this was just one time and this person is thrown off. Now, on the flip side of that, you have to make sure that if you know the type of person, how the type of person is who's actually calling you, asking you, do you know somebody? You got to make sure that you know that person. Because if I know somebody is always going to be problematic, is historically been problematic, then I'm not referring you to nobody. You can ask me, do I know a good cool cup lady? I'm like, nope, I don't know nobody, because somehow they're gonna find a problem with the cool cup, and it's gonna be something that tampers with your good name. And when you work hard to build a good name, and I won't even say when you work hard. Now, some people, yeah, you work hard to build a good name based on the things you do, the kind of work ethic you have, and making sure that you're satisfying the folks you deal with and being honest and forthright and all that. Man, you don't want to lose that. You value that, you know. But also, building up a good name is just a lot of times just based on just being who you really naturally are. And if you just naturally just A1, that builds up your good name organically. But all it takes, man, is somebody to come along and just mess it up. And it doesn't matter what it is, man. You can say, man, somebody looking for a job. You got a homie that has his own business and needs some help. You send him that way. And now this fool done stole money. You know, even in my industry, you know, it's like, oh man, can you hook me up with some producers or something like that? Yeah, I know some people that do some dope tracks and you know, you send a person that they done wasted the man time, or use a good studio. Oh man, this man in the studio don't know what he doing, or he don't want to pay, or I mean, it's all kinds of things. Or hey man, I done sent this. He's a good artist, but he was a knucklehead. I done hooked him up with my guy with a label, and now he ain't showing up to appointments on time. When he come, he high. So it's so many twists and turns to this concept, to this topic, that we got to look out for. But it exists on all levels. So for the sake of your own uh, business relationships and personal relationships too, because sometimes you send people to your friends. It ain't always just about business. And and I have had people who, not friends, but I've had other people, plugs and stuff, that, you know, they stopped messing with me because of folks that I sent to them, and then they had a falling out or whatever. Now, that was kind of shaky because I'm like, dude, me and you ain't never had no problems. But why are you upset with me? I guess you like, man, why would you send me that fool? But hey, man, I didn't know. Or things happen because it doesn't always have to be that you sent a bad person to somebody. That's another thing we got to address. It could be two good people. You say, well, man, nah, this cat is A1, this cat is A1. I'm going to link them up. And just somehow they don't click. It doesn't mesh together and they fall out, So it's so many scenarios to it and ways that we can look at it. But I'm really focusing more so on the ones that are off, that should never be connected. You have to look at certain people and say, well, nah, buddy, you got to figure it out on your own. And some people say, well, that's messed up, man. And like, well, no, it's not really messed up because I can't, and you shouldn't either let somebody jeopardize your credibility and your name behind their ways, all for the sake of saying, well, yeah, I'm just trying to look out for something. I was just trying, because that's what's going to end up happening once it go left. Somebody's going to say, well, man, why would you? Then you're gonna find yourself saying, man, I was just trying to help the man out, man. I was just trying to look out for him. I ain't know he was going to do that. I ain't know she was going to do that. See, we've all said that. And you feel bad for the person that was to connect, because now you've brought an unseen and unexpected inconvenience into their life, or unexpected problem into their life when that was not even your intention. So be mindful. If it's somebody you know, that you know how they are, don't connect them with nobody. Not nobody. But what about nope? Well, how about if they nope? Well, let's just say, for example, no. If you know how they are, don't do that, man. Trust me, in the long run, you'll be glad you did it, because what's going to happen is this. When you don't link them up with any of your people, your good people, they're going to bounce around until they finally find somebody else that will link them up, or they're going to find somebody on their own, and then it's going to get back to you once it goes bad. It'll get back to you, and you know what you're going to say now? Instead of saying, well, man, I ain't know it. Now you're going to say, what was that? Now you're going to say, man, see, I'm glad. See, that's why I didn't even connect. See, I knew. And I'd rather say that all day long than be sitting around going, oh, man. And that's on the one, man. So y'all keep that in mind as you move forward. It's not being mean. It's not being dirty. It's not being disrespectful. It's being wise and being protective of your connections and your plugs and the things that you value and the things that you want to be able to go to and utilize for years and years and years. That's what it is. All right, man, it's your big brother K-Rino. I will catch y'all with another one real soon. Much love and peace.